Hello, oil enthusiasts. Hold on to your diffusers because it's about to get wild and fragrant in here. In today's episode, we will be discussing the final step in our process of doing emotional work. We all require inner work, so why not learn a proven method that can give you the skills needed for personal healing? If you are interested in learning this method on how to heal yourself mentally and emotionally, this mini series will be a great tool for you. This episode highlights the final action of living free. Don't forget to stick around to the end for our scoop of the day. Welcome to the Essential Oil Scoop, where we're all about sass, class, and a whole lot of plant-based fun. I'm your host, Vicky Labrilia, and I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Sarah Sipos. Together, we're going to be your guides to the world of essential oils. And trust us, there's no better team for the job. With my passion for natural wellness and Sarah's encyclopedia-like knowledge of essential oils and our sparkling wit and charm, we'll be diving into the world of essential oils, giving you all the tips, tricks, and the juicy scoop that you need to make the most of those potent plant extracts. Don't forget to share, like, save, subscribe, and follow our podcast so you get notified every time we upload a new episode. So grab your favorite oils and your favorite drink, put on your listening ears, and let's get ready to have some fun with essential oils. Sarah, today's episode is going to be amazing, don't you think? It's about living free, the final phase of our mini series. Oh my gosh, let's just drop some knowledge on some people.
Girl, I think that this is a great wrap up for this whole series because when you are living free, just like think about that. Think about living free without, and it's not necessarily that you are completely 100% healed, right? Like living free simply means that you're freed from the emotional baggage that weighs you down in life. Like living free helps you so you can have the vision to fulfill your life's purpose. Like that's where it kind of that's like the end goal, right? So how do we live free? The end goal is here. This is our like future goal. This is what we're working towards. We're working towards getting rid of emotional baggage and those negative trapped emotions that we talked about before. And this is getting rid of all of that weight and that heaviness that really holds you down. And now you're living free. And so that's the goal, is to live free. And so by doing so and doing like getting rid of the emotional baggage, working through some of these different practices that we've talked about and getting rid of some of this emotional pain, we can incorporate gratitude. Like think about all the things we've discussed. We've talked about journaling, and we've talked about personal inventory, and we've talked about all these things, and we've talked especially about gratitude journaling and how important it is to have gratitude and how that is such an integral part of the living free process, because that gratitude helps to bring in those higher vibrations that we've talked about. Like it's kind of like the culmination of all of the podcasts that we've been talking about in this whole series comes together with this, that the living free goal is to that we can now be free of some of this baggage to live our life, our life's purpose of what we were put on this planet to do.
I agree. The this mini series has been really powerful, and hopefully you guys have really evaluated where you're at in your journey of life and has started to instill some of the essential oils and the different protocols that will definitely benefit you throughout. We've talked about healing exercises. We've talked about stages of the emotional process, emotional healing with essential oils, yada, yada. I just want to reaffirm that every time you engage in this entire process, you are becoming more and more empowered. And when you feel whole and healed, you can offer that to everyone around you. We can't offer what we don't have, y'all. We can't. I've tried that many, many times. And I always come back more depleted and lethargic and not whole, less than. And I don't want that for you. And so please, please, please understand that you are worthy of this process. You're worthy of releasing it and you're worthy of living free. And this podcast specifically is discussing the living free. So, Sarah, let's get into it.
One other point I want to make though really quick is this idea of with living free is expansion and growth and developing ourselves and becoming better. Not bitter, but better, right? Like we want to become
Correct.
better and not
Yes.
sitting in that bitterness or sitting in the resentment or sitting in the muck, right? We want to get better. We want to grow. We want to have this deeper growth into our lives because
Mhm.
the better we grow, the more expansion we have in our lives. And that kind of goes right back to our last podcast talking about um releasing and receiving, right? And this idea of expansion is part of that receiving process. The more we expand ourselves, the more we can receive. And
Yes.
that becomes huge. And then we can but that gratitude piece is so important to bring into because that creates expansion in our lives. So I think there's a lot that's culminating into this live free process, but I love the fact that we have paired some awesome oils to go along with this live free portion. So let's get into the juicy scoop about
Yes.
the oils.
Yes. Let's do that. And no more wallowing, you guys. Don't wallow in the guck. Let's live free. So, Sarah, what is the first juicy scoop that we want to share with our listeners today?
Actually, this is a funny word. It's called Hygge, okay? But
Yeah. Okay.
Hygge, let me spell it for you because this is a Danish word. It's Hygge, okay? But it's pronounced Hygge. And this is a blend that isn't offered very often. Um,
Correct.
But if you can get your hands on this, it is a beautiful oil and it was special. It was formulated to capture the Danish practice of immersing oneself in the simple comforts and cultivating contented awareness. Contented, feeling content, feeling cozy, feeling like it's the oil
Peace.
of sanctuary. So that, yeah, bringing in that peaceful, sanctuary, calming feeling. And it really helps, especially when you have been like taking care of everybody else's needs and you're not really in that nurturing and self-care mode. And this oil is going to invite you to be in that more of that nurturing self-care mode. And it's
Mhm.
going to help bring peace and sanctuary and happiness into and contentedness. Contentedness is not the same as being okay. If you are content with where you're at, content is just like it's like you're okay. You're not you're not in that overly negative state. You're not in that overly like striving state. You're
Mhm.
content and you're at peace and contentedness. So that's like I just really wanted to stress that because sometimes people mistake contentedness with being stuck or uh, I'm trying to think of the other word for stuck, but you're not moving forward, you're not progressing. And there's a
Stagnant.
stagnant, thank you, that is the word. Stagnant and content are not the same.
Mm-mm.
People sometimes uh, say they're content with how their life is. In actuality, they're just stagnant. And that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about stagnant energy. We're talking about being at peace of where you're at, being in a homeostasis type situation where you are feeling good and you're feeling happy and you don't feel like you're not being dragged down and you're not also because sometimes we get complacent. Complacent is another great word,
Mhm.
opposite of content. Complacent is not the same as being content. Complacent is where you're sitting in that same spot and you're like, well, I don't really need to strive for anything else more in my life. But contentedness is when you're just that it's an inner feeling versus outer, where um when you're just kind of stuck, that's more both inner and outer. You're not doing anything outwardly because your innards are not um not lining up, I guess is the best way to I'm messing up this description, but that's how like I just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit. This is going to help teach us kindness and compassion, and quality time is necessary for intimate and bonded relationships. Like I am a quality time person, and I have to tell you, it is absolutely important for me to have that quality time with people, to talk, to get to know each other, to really dive deep into getting to know each other. And this blend provides an emotional shelter for those who just haven't felt comfortable or have a safe place to like land. And people with trauma and other things don't always feel safe. They don't feel safe, maybe even in their own skin, let alone their own home or other places. They just have this like deep-seated fears from past traumas. And so when we're talking about living free, it is an absolute crucial point is to feel safe. Feel safe in your own body, feel safe in your own environment, feel safe with the people around you, and not worry about people harming you in any way. You're going to want to apply this either to the bottoms of your feet, your legs, or your arms. You're going to want to dilute because this is it's got some spices in there. It's got some heavy hitters with wild orange, amyris, frankincense, cedarwood, myrrh, cistus, vetiver, tonka bean, vanilla. It's got some great oils, but it's also got some heavy hitters. So you're going to want to dilute this and use it on the bottoms of your feet, arms, legs. And also, I love diffusing this. This is one of my favorites to diffuse.
I like blending it. Yeah, I like this oil blend as a single, but I also like blending it with um, a citrus. And I have a few citruses that I blend it with. It just elevates it for me a little bit more. But truly, oh my gosh, you just gave so many nuggets of how this beautiful blend can be incorporated in this practice of living free. I love that, Sarah. The second, are we ready to move on to the second oil? Okay, the second oil is actually a blend and it's called Supermint, and it's the essential oil of perspective. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely need help in this category, especially when my mind is flooded with my big to-do list, the tasks that are in front of me that may seem insurmountable, but no are achievable. I need to shift my perspective on situations. And Supermint is very energizing because all the mints are on I don't know, I was going to say scientific level, but that's not the right word, on a chemistry component of it. That doesn't even make sense either. I'm just going to move on. Superman is amazing. So it helps the heart rise above what is weighing it down. Okay. Remember that. It offers confident energy to individuals who are plagued by self doubt. Okay. Raise your hand. I can't see it, but raise your hand if you've ever had self doubt or pessimism or despondency, so that you can embark on a more liberated and vibrant existence. This blend is also beneficial for anyone suffering from deep, dark emotional states. And it reminds you and myself that hope and happiness still exist. Okay. It lifts the veil of grief. We just spoke about grief and sadness, and it allows you to monetarily surface from what can feel like a sea of sorrow. You guys, have you ever felt like you've been emotionally drowning in your own gunk? Come on, let's be real with ourselves. I don't know anybody that hasn't. These oils are so, so beneficial and powerful for us to use, and it allows our body to just heal as a whole so much faster and so much more in alignment. We know that living free is a choice, just like processing and releasing is a choice. I'm asking you right now to choose into you so you can absorb and allow the joy to flood back in, and understand pain is an emotion that you can feel, but it's only temporary. Living free is something that you are allowed to choose into. This blend has Japanese peppermint, spearmint, and bergamot. You can huff it straight from the bottle. You can put it in your diffuser. You can put it on your pulse points, but just know that this powerful essential oil is a tool that you can use in living free. Now we have a third oil that Sarah and I are going to discuss. And Sarah, I'm going to have you take it away right now.
That's because you know how much I love this oil, right? Like
Yes.
I love Roman chamomile. It is the oil of spiritual purpose. And I have had many, many experiences using this oil, and I've got so many to share, but I'm not going to share them right this second. We could have a whole podcast just on this oil alone because it's powerful. Okay,
All
powerful.
caps, powerful.
Yes, that's going to go in show notes. Powerful. Hmm. Um, it helps individuals when they're discovering and living their true life's purpose. Isn't that what we just, but isn't that the point I was just trying to hit on just like
Yes.
3 minutes ago? Like
Yep.
when you're living free, you are able to live your life on purpose. I don't know about you guys, but have you ever had that moment where you're like, this is exactly what I am meant to do? And you are in that moment and you're like, this is amazing. And I've had a few of those brief moments in my life where I have done that. And I remember the first time it ever happened to me, I was like, this is amazing. This is what I could do every day for the rest of my life, and I would be totally content and happy because I know that this is part of my purpose and my life's mission. And if you haven't experienced that yet, I invite you to do some soul searching and maybe use this Roman chamomile to help you on that level, on that surface, to get to help you to get to that point. Because I'm telling you, when you have done that, you just know, like deep knowing that, yes, this is my purpose, this is what I'm meant to do. And it's not just the outward actions that individuals have, it's housed within their heart and soul, and it radiates out to the world. Like when you see somebody living their purpose, you feel it. You see that person, you're like, dang, I want to be that person because they know where they want and they know where they're going. And I want to be like that. Not necessarily in like a weird jealousy or envious way, but you're like, I want to be that person because they know where they're going, how they're getting there, and they are living their purpose completely. And you see it because it radiates every fiber of their being. And you're just like, you're amazing. Roman chamomile also assists in shedding meaningless activities that consume lives so individuals can focus more on a fulfilling work, even the work of their own souls. Okay. Do you ever like get lost in um the scroll, right? On social media? Do
Maybe.
you ever watch Netflix to the point where it's like, are you still there? And you're like, quit judging me, right? Have Have we ever played a video game or a phone game way too much or way too long? Like these are all meaningless, time-consuming activities that really take your focus away from your spiritual purpose. There's a book I have recently been listening to on Audible, and it's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So this book was written in like 1938. And it is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. And he talks about this idea of meaningless time wasters and how they just draw us away from our life's purpose. So if you want a good book to like really dive in a lot deeper into this idea of living life on purpose, highly, highly recommend Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Such a good book. We'll put it in show notes too.
Yeah, I
We'll
was
put
going to
it
say,
in.
Sarah, let's put it in the show notes for everybody as a possibility to pick up and read or how whatever they want to do with it. But girl, the Roman can't continue on. I can't mess your groove up. Let's not do that. Let's listen in.
It's so good. It's so good. No, it's great. Like just using that Roman chamomile, it really does help to helps you to focus in. Just to helps you to focus in, go within and focus on what you need to be doing. And you would apply this to your forehead or behind your ears if you're going to use it topically. I actually really love mixing this with lots of different oils. I like mixing this with ylang-ylang. I like mixing this with wild orange or citrus bliss. I feel like this oil pairs well with a lot of different oils. It's not just like one or two that it's fantastic with. Blue tansy, I mean, guys, you have not heard my blue tansy rant. Lookie's laughing because she knows the blue tansy love is real with me. Like I love blue tansy. This is a great oil to pair with blue tansy. Someday we're gonna do a podcast just on blue tansy, and it'll be the Sarah show because Vicky will just be laughing hysterically in the background. That's just
Probably. I'll get about 1 minute in, and that's about it. Because you're just gonna have to tune in because it's really amazing and inspired action. Yeah, please. Yes. But girl, keep going. I have a couple cents to share with our listeners, but like I love listening to you and share and every bit of wisdom you have with Roman chamomile.
it's just like I could go on. If you want me to keep going, I'll keep going, girl, because I could go on for hours on this one. It does help soften a personality. So sometimes you might have that overactive ego going on. We all know people like that, right? Even if it might be ourselves sometimes. Um, and so that overactive ego mind, and sometimes we just get too much into our head and
Mhm.
we don't have the right balance there. It also helps restore confidence. It helps you to restore confidence in doing what you came to this earth to do and fulfill that purpose. Doesn't that sound beautiful? Don't you want to just come to this earth? Don't you want to fulfill that purpose? Like it's
Well, restoring confidence, girl, this is what you get when you are in the final stage of living free and you've gone through all of the work required to get here. Incorporating this oil in this way, yes, sign me up all day long. Well, we can't wait to get off because we're going to start diffusing or make ourselves some sun tea with a drop of Roman chamomile in it. Like that's how legit we are living right now. We want you to opt in. We want you to say yes to this opportunity that is presented to you. If you are joining us for the very first time and you're like, what the heck is happening here? My friends, go back to our previous episodes. This is a whole mini series on processing, releasing, and finally living free.
It's been a fantastic series. I'm super excited. This is the wrap up for this series, but we will always, always continue to bring you more about emotions, and we'll dive in a lot deeper into some of these subjects because we realize as we've been recording how many times we are like, oh, we need to do a whole podcast. We have a list, and I'm not even joking. We have a whole list that we
We
have
do.
disgust of like, oh, we need to do this and this and this. And I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I'm a nighttime girl. Like I stay up way too late, and half the time it's a great thing that Vicky and I actually live in totally different time zones because I text this girl and it is like everybody in my house has gone to bed and I'm like, Vicky, you up? And she's like, yep, Sarah's got some ideas.
It's like 9 o'clock my time, and she's all wired, and I'm like, going to bed in my brain. It is hilarious. But friends, you got to stick around because the next episode that's about to pop in to your DMs is summertime products, sun care products to be exact. So I can't wait for you to listen to us on the flip side.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Essential Oil Scoop. We hope you have found this discussion informative and helpful. If you have any questions or topics that you would like us to cover in future episodes, please leave us a comment or reach out to us on social media. Don't forget to like, share, save, subscribe, and follow our podcast so that you get notified every time we upload a new episode. Until next time, stay healthy, keep using your essential oils to enhance your wellness journey, and we will talk to you really soon. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Be well, my friends. Bye.